You are listening to Song to the Siren, a Coriolis effect actual play. Part 6. And here we are, back in our lovely cottage with the fire burning that we were in a year ago when we recorded the first part of Song to the Siren, and we didn't finish it. And this time, a year later,
I'm not going to finish it.
Record the next bit. So, first of all, shall we go round the table and introduce ourselves? My name is Matthew, and I'm the GM.
Hello, I'm Dave. I'm playing Yaphet Otho. I am a scientist, but I'm actually a techie. I am an adherent, or at least a somewhat adherent, of the Nazarene sacrifice, but I am questioning my adherence to that belief. Particularly seeing all the shit that's happened to me since I started believing in it. And the beast obviously doesn't appreciate my efforts.
Really shouldn't be saying that next to me.
As a player, it's fine. And you know that as a player anyway. But as a character, you don't.
Yeah. Hello, well, my name is Andrew. I am playing Salem. I'm a humanite soldier.
You're a Zolossian.
Zolossian, yes.
I'm Tony. My character is Salah Otto, twin brother of Yaphet. Also stuck on the same prison planet currently. I'm basically the muscle. I'm a fighter, which apparently, according to a certain lava lamp-shaped computer, is not a useful enough skill to be rescued from the planet.
Bitter and twisted?
So, yes.
Inevitably.
Let's remind our readers, and frankly ourselves, what happened last time. You found yourselves awake and descending at rapid speed onto the surface of a planet, having been, in a previous adventure, found guilty of crimes that I'm afraid you definitely
We were.
Travesty of justice.
Travesty of
We
justice.
did it. There's no reason
Exactly.
You landed in a plane when I say plane, not in an aeroplane,
On a sandy plane.
A sandy plane with rocks in it, and found that you each had a sort of ejectable stasis bed that you'd been landed in. You'd come down on parachutes. You were separated but could eventually find each other. There were about 20 or 30 other ones coming down. What happened then?
We ran into
cannibals.
Nearby rocky outcrop.
Yeah.
We saw there were some vehicles approaching.
Yeah.
That we could see approaching, so we went to hide in the rocky outcrop. And as these vehicles approached, it was clear they were basically capturing the prisoners that had landed, take them off to whatever. We hid, we attacked the people from one of these vehicles, took their vehicle.
We killed them very expertly, I thought.
We did so, and then we kind of headed off in the opposite direction. There were a number of other prisoners who were restrained in the back of the vehicle.
Yeah.
We were having a long
discussion.
Standard long debates about whether we should just brutally
kill them or not,
or leave them to die in the desert, or let them go, or.
At one point when you're having that
standard
debate,
operating practice, what was in our power.
you met a couple of
Should
sort
we
of
kill them?
salvage deals.
We did indeed, yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Steptoe and Son.
Willett and Son.
Yeah, and you traded one of your prisoners for a sword.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we did discuss just killing them as well.
Because they had quite a nice looking bike, didn't they?
A sword and a map as well, I think.
Yes, we got a map off them.
To Club Topeka.
Yeah.
Okay. And we did agree that we would meet Willard there at a later point for do some trading or something.
I can't remember exactly why we agreed to meet him.
But we did agree to meet him later.
Yep.
Although I can't remember if we actually ever did.
No, we haven't. He hasn't turned up.
You went to Club Topeka,
Yep.
having spent a night in the cave, and
we released the prisoners we had with us.
Yes.
About a kilometre from the gate.
Yeah, so they could
make their own way in.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them to die. As tends to happen, we have these long conversations when we have power over these NPCs. And we debate about it. And we start from the out point of, well, let's just kill them. And we always reach the point where we do something a lot more ethical and moral.
Yeah,
which is probably good.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just like,
Exactly.
this is the standard trajectory
The
of
thing
these
is,
conversations for us.
But it does
Let's just
take
kill them, and then we keep them alive.
roughly an hour of game time for you
Yeah.
to work out
Mhm,
not
yes,
to
yeah.
kill them.
And is a lot of fun in the conversation as well.
What are your impressions of Club Topeka?
Weak,
Honestly, pain in the arse.
weak party
Weak.
town.
Weak party town.
Too busy
Party town,
spliffing up to realise
And
the
also
danger that they're in.
and also seemed a bit too good to be true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is a prison planet. All these hardened prisoners have built this, socialist utopia where everybody worked for the good of the community, etc.
What's wrong with a socialist utopia?
Nothing, but it just seemed implausible for it to be there in this particular context.
Yeah.
You're only bitter because they want to leave you behind.
It's only the lava lamp that wants to do that.
And who did you meet there?
Kadim.
And what is Qadim?
Kadim is Zen out of Blake 7, except he's a cunt as well.
I thought he was Auric.
There's two halves of his personality being split, don't they? So
Yeah.
the cunt half is Qadim,
Auric.
and the nice half is still on the ship,
He's still on the ship.
buried
Mm.
up the mountain.
Yep.
Or half
Parental
buried.
advisory.
No, I thought the cunt half was Auric, and the nice bit, and the nice bit was
We might want to
Zen
put the
still on the
advisory
ship.
before we start saying cunt, rather than afterwards.
The town of Club Topeka is run by this AI,
Mm-hmm.
and you deduced this AI had come from
A ship.
a ship.
A crashed ship.
So you went to find said crashed ship?
We did.
We did after talking to the AI.
And we did find the crashed ship. And inside the crashed ship, we were able to ascertain that there was kind of the other half of the AI in there, the emotional half, which is obviously feeling
Yeah.
lonely and lost and unhappy because it's got no intellect, doesn't understand it. All it understands is the emotional
Pain.
feeling of loss that it's got. Because Qadim, the intellectual half of the AI, is down in Club Topeka, smoking dope and
Being
enjoying pool parties.
And
Just as a lava
so
lamp.
we finished the podcast with you having made that. There were some other creatures in the ship as well.
Transformed when they buy the ship or something.
Something like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, were they the members of the crew of the ship that in some way?
No, weren't they people they sent up there? Would be that.
Yeah,
Well,
so
they
one of
do-
the reasons people don't go to the ship anymore is
who've
people
been
have
sent
been
there and turned into
trained.
these.
And you
Those
felt
mindless
that
creatures.
you were finding it difficult to think the closer you got to
the centre
the
of the
bridge,
ship.
as
That
it
was just
were.
because it was getting later in the evening and I'm tired.
More time, yeah.
Yes, you weren't thinking rationally, you were thinking
Yeah.
more emotionally.
That's true.
Getting
Yeah.
a bit tetchy.
No, not at all. No.
What was the line you used?
What?
If I had a gun,
And
I'd
I'll
blow
shoot
your fucking head off. In game, I point out. Not to that.
I think in
Okay.
We've chosen to believe. That
Yes, it was in game. Honest.
But anyway, we've had a debate with Qadim because he wants me to repair the ship in order to get off the planet.
Yeah, and strictly speaking, it's not so much repair the ship, it's he needs a pilot to get him off the planet.
Mhm.
The ship isn't designed for atmospheric operations. It crashed on the ship,
On the planet.
on the planet. It will require
Some
pretty,
repair and
pretty
some
clever skills.
and some
But
piloting.
the key thing is there are no interface or no human understandable interfaces on the
Interfaces.
ship. And so you had met earlier on an engineer who had been taking salvaged flight control interfaces
Yeah,
and trying to do weird stuff to the back.
yeah, Jasmine.
Jasmine, yes. But Qadim and Jasmine both think you might do a better job of doing that. So he needs you to do that. He needs you, Salem, to fly the ship.
Yeah.
Doesn't need you, Salah.
Apparently not.
And here's the sticking point.
Mm.
Because Qadim is refusing to accept that Salah needs to be involved in the conversations and be on board the ship, whilst I am refusing to do anything to help Qadim until there's a guarantee that my brother my twin brother, Salah, is exfiltrated with us.
So you, in the last episode of the podcast, episode 5, I think, of this, called Siren, you guys decided to go back and try and have this out. Shall we listen now to your initial conversations in that regard? Okay, I'm not going to make you do the journey again. Well, I am going to make you do the journey again, but we're not going to play through it.
Yeah, well, let's go find Jasmine and the priest and say, right.
Yep, we've been to the ship, and we know that somebody removed Qadim from the ship.
And Qadim needs to be returned to the ship. So
now we know.
we need to do that because we need to.
Who are you saying this to?
Jasmine and
the priest, yeah.
It's not just that, says Jasmine. When Qadim and the ship are returned, we also need to be ready to go with these interfaces. Now, I don't know. Qadim thinks that we take the interfaces, that he can get the ship to grow the relevant connections, as it were. But we don't actually know whether these interfaces work.
So Qadim thinks he can make the ship grow the interfaces.
Yeah.
So why does he need us or me?
Well, Qadim needs your help making it happen, he thinks. I can't make it happen. Apparently.
Okay. So where on the ship do we need to interface with these interfaces? Because we've had a good search around and we couldn't find an obvious place.
So I don't understand this, she says. But it doesn't matter.
Okay. That's
fine. What are these creatures?
Sorry?
The creatures.
We don't know when the first one appeared, but we're nervous about going back to the ship because we've lost people and they've become these creatures.
Perhaps if the ship takes control of itself again, that they can expunge these creatures itself, rather than us having to go through every corridor and chamber and hunt them down. Especially with weapons, no better than this bloody knife.
Yeah. Or the spears, or whatever we have.
But there is an intelligence in the ship itself, isn't there?
But Qadim won't come with you until you've struck a deal with him.
So, what's stopping us just picking up Qadim and walking off with him?
Well, it requires about 6 people to lift. You know, it's not just a lava lamp; it's a big lava lamp.
It's a big lamp.
Okay, so what's stopping us having 6 people just pick him up? What's stopping me creating a grav belt that we control, that we can place around him, a grav that we can then take him wherever we like? Why can't we do it? Why has Qadim got to decide? We'll have to carry him anyway.
Yes, but Qadim has built this world for us.
Well, good for him. I mean, that's great. But
who actually removed him from the ship anyway?
Before my time. Before anybody's here's time.
Qadim does seem to be somewhat irrational.
Yeah.
Cutting his own nose off to spite his face. But it's rather to the arbitrary rules he's made up. And because of that, he's not accepting the help of the people who can help him, who are willing to help.
Qadim
He's an
is
idiot.
purely mathematical.
Yeah, and the mathematics is there are people who he needs to help who can help him, but he, through his arbitrary rules, is preventing.
Yeah. He doesn't understand emotion.
It's not nothing to do with emotion. It's entirely irrational. 100% irrational. Entirely irrational.
The closest I could use to describe it is he is autistic. He tries to replicate social emotions. He doesn't want to let anybody down. He feels a version of love for everybody that he doesn't want to disappoint them. That's why he hasn't told everybody about his plans to leave. Until he knows that he can take everybody with him, he doesn't want to disappoint people.
But he's already said to us that there's a risk that he can't take everybody.
Exactly.
And then on an arbitrary basis of value, whatever criteria he thinks that should apply, it should apply to that, he's going to take people and leave others to die. So
Because you were useful to him.
but we're not useful to him. If it doesn't strike a bargain with us, we are no use to him whatsoever because we were in hell.
He's waited here for
Good.
in this place
He
at
can
least
wait.
hundreds of years.
He can wait for 1,000 more years.
He will. He'll outlive us all.
Yeah.
He's outlived generations.
That doesn't
Make him right.
achieve his outcome.
You don't need
His
to convince me.
his outcome
He
is-
lacks
So why
the
do we-
empathy to
Point is,
understand.
why do we
your
need to
love for
convince
your
him
brother.
when his ship is crying out for his return?
He can't hear his ship cry out for his return.
No, but his ship. We've heard his ship cry out for his return. So why does he have the final say? Why don't we just pick him up and take him there? Can he stop us? Is he
We
going to
won't
shoot
help
us?
you.
No?
Why not?
Because
Because you're spliffed up on Opor and you're having too good a time. It's just pathetic, frankly.
Qadim, we do what Qadim tells us.
This society
He
is
doesn't want to do it.
doomed to die because you're too busy spliffing up on Opor, and one day Cordoba will just roll through here and kill the lot of you.
Qadim doesn't believe that to be the case.
No, but Qadim is an idiot. As you said, Qadim's an autistic child. He doesn't have a basic understanding of human behaviour and emotion. So you can have some foolish loyalty to Qadim and everybody dies, or we can take things into our own command and we can get probably everybody off this planet.
Some of us have lived here for decades.
Well, you might want to stay then. That's your choice.
No, but we've lived here for decades in some comfort.
Yeah, all right. So in some comfort, which means, but you've got a bunch of
Murderous
abominations who are quite happy with that.
Cannibals.
Would like to hack you off, your limbs off, and eat you by bits, but bit by bit. Marvellous.
Well, we have an understanding with them, a sense of respect.
A sense of respect.
They don't hack our limbs off.
Yet.
Well, if they caught you out in the desert, they would.
We have
How's
a
that guy?
system of
Have we
protection.
did what's his face ever turn up here?
Which
Willa.
one?
Willa.
Willa.
Steptoe.
Has he been here?
He probably turned up in a couple of days while you were away.
No, I was going to say what.
But he did say, if we do something wrong, then Cordoba will just come and kill us, because he'll eat you and he'll kill us.
I don't think Qadim will come and kill you here.
Well, no, I
That's
think,
not the point,
frankly,
is it?
we can fight against Cordoba. We are skilled soldiers with a lot of experience. You guys are a bunch of hopheads.
You keep on saying,
are
oh
gonna
yes,
die.
we can use,
It's not me
No.
you need to convince. Qadim is our leader.
Well, no,
should
we
have
do need
this
to convince you,
conversation with him.
because Qadim
Have
is
a-
a robot, is a AI that we can pick up and take him back to the ship that is so desperately wanting him back.
You're dooming yourselves. And him.
Qadim doesn't think so.
I'm not sure I want to escape in this ship anyway, actually, because Qadim is such a twat. Maybe we should just go and kill Cordoba and take over for the cannibals. Okay, well, get us in to talk to Qadim at least.
Again.
Let us have a conversation with him.
You can't take your brother.
Why not?
Qadim doesn't want to talk to your brother.
So how
He's not my brother.
how are you gonna how is Qadim gonna stop that? Is he gonna order you to kill him?
No.
How's Qadim gonna stop him coming to our conversation? Because I would like my brother to be there. In fact, it's a prerequisite.
Surely the ship is Qadim's brother.
Or Qadim's family, or Qadim's other half, or the other part of his brain.
The other half of his brain, I think, would be.
That's still a relation then, isn't he?
Yeah,
Why
I
did-
think I can see where you're going with this. She says
Why did Qadim?
you're thinking just as Qadim needs to be reunited with
That's the ship needs. Yeah.
his ship, so Salah and Yaphet must not be split. Qadim has made a mathematical calculation that I have failed him as an engineer. I can't do this stuff. He has put a lot of faith in you, possibly being able to fix it. But your brother is not useful to his plans.
And you are useful to his plans. You just said you are incapable of fixing the situation. So why are you the gatekeeper to Qadim?
Yeah, so he may
You're
say
useless. You're more
he may
useless than
decide
he
to
is.
leave you.
He might, yes.
So you're happy with that, are you?
Well, we all of us in this community have learned and benefited from doing what Qadim
Oh,
asks
so you're
us
going to be
do.
taking opal while they hack your limbs off and eat them in front of your eyes. Marvellous.
Nobody is hacking anybody's limbs off.
But they will be one
This
day.
community has been here for decades and hasn't. It's built.
Sideways.
It's expanded.
If I had my fucking gun, I'd shoot you in the head right now. In fact,
What you don't understand is Qadim is a pacifist.
But he's happy to consign many people to death. That's not a pacifistic approach. Just because he is not exacting violence, allowing others to do violence on other people that he cares about is worse than what we're choosing to do or trying to do. It's allowing people to die through indifference.
fuck it, we're going to talk to him now.
We'll see what we can do.
No, we're going now. 1, 2, 3 of us, we're going to talk to him now.
Okay? So you're barging into there.
Barging,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's the lava lamp, but it doesn't communicate with you.
Okay. Is there a room further on in the complex?
No.
You see, I try not to lose my temper, because you're the one losing your temper. I try and play the calm, but now... Is there anybody distracting us?
It's Qadim you want to speak to.
No, I just wanted to punch some annoying, sneering cunt that just because I'm you.
We have rather hit a complete dead end.
The annoying fact is, we're actually trying to play the good guys here for once.
Yeah. Well, we can't... I don't know what we can do to actually influence what's going to happen in this scenario. Well, I think we just go and create a community somewhere else and let these lot get eaten by Cordoba. Maybe we should go and...
I'm not making any deals with that.
No, that's fair enough. No, I don't really want to do that either.
Maybe go back up to the
But
table.
you tell Qadim, one, that his behaviour is very rude in not even talking to us when he'd agreed that we should have a triumvirate about dealing with this. And two, there is no way ever I'm going to agree to anything he suggests, and without my brother being a full party in the process. So he can sit and rot here, just like the rest of us, for eternity. That might be fine.
Mm-hmm.
His partnership is pining, is emotionally torn apart by his inability to find a way of reuniting himself with his ship.
I can't talk to him if he won't talk to me, she says.
Well, I tell
So he doesn't talk to you now? Where's the priest then? Who does he talk to?
Well, I tell the priest, I say the priest. One, even you would know, one does not abandon, well, you would know, you do not abandon one's comrades. So this community are the comrades. No, that doesn't work.
But there is no way, none whatsoever, that I am going to help Qadim and leave my brother on this planet and help him leave in this ship. None whatsoever. Absolutely not. I'd rather die here. I'd rather die here.
You're welcome to live here as long as you want.
No, fuck me sideways.
That's fine. But Qadim has to do a calculation about what his objectives are and about whether he wishes to leave this planet and reunite himself with the other half of his personality, which is in terrible pain because of the forced separation that Qadim has put upon him.
I think he assumes that at some point a suitable engineer and pilot would appear who don't have connections to anybody else.
How much mathematics relies upon assumption?
Tell him to work out how long he's going to work out for those arseholes to storm this place.
He's been here alone for millennia.
And so his ship has been emotionally torn apart for millennia.
Not necessarily. We don't know when the two were split. We imagine they were split by the first humans to get here. When that was, hundreds of years ago, 1,000 years ago, we don't know.
But ever since they've been split, his ship has been torn emotionally apart. And he may not be. He may think it's just all fine and dandy. But his ship is hurting and is upset and is potentially being severely harmed by the separation. Qadim can sit on his ass all he likes, but...
and you can carry on shoving up opal leaves up your privates as long as you want as well.
Up your A4.
Hey, smoke 'em! Come on, party's starting. Relax.
I'm going to go and sit on the ramparts.
If Cordoba hadn't been a blooming cannibal, I would be opening the gates to him and his troops.
And I'm going to go sit on the party may be starting, but I'm sitting on the ramparts somewhere, just fucking sulking now.
It's worth pointing out, you haven't actually seen all that many. You've seen 3 people from Cordoba's gang, 2 of which you killed. I don't know these got troops.
No, but the assumption is he's got a whole town that is farming people, so he's got to have some troops.
Yeah, maybe.
So suggesting we don't get off and go trap all the way down to...
No, I'm not going to.
No, I'm not doing that. If he comes and turns up while I'm socking the ramparts, well then I may actually jump down and just...
Kill him,
yeah. Or, die in its end, whatever.
Are we looking at this from the wrong end? We need to bring the emotional half to Qadim rather than the other way around.
Oh.
Possibly, although, I guess it depends how easy it's going to be to
extract.
that.
Well, somebody must have extracted Qadim from the ship.
I just want to remind you what I was hoping to get across, but might not have succeeded last year, is the emotional half is the ship.
Yes,
the whole
ship is slightly
Yeah,
bigger.
so I think,
there's not like
I think you were having the right idea about
okay.
taking Qadim to the ship.
Yeah, so we can't distract everything.
So there isn't like another lava lamp somewhere in the ship that's the emotional half?
No, what you saw in the ship was the alcove where the lava lamp sits.
Where Qadim
and that
should
had
fit.
been, whereas everything was kind of translucenty, whitey, sort of alien feeling. I'm trying to make it, or not of human design, shall we say. There was a sort of black canker spreading out from that alcove that was a symptom of the emotional distress that the ship was in.
So I still think Qadim was being illogical. So Qadim needs your help, and your price for that help is that icon as well. And that would seem like
a reasonable
still
price.
a logical transaction to accept. So I think Qadim is still being illogical. But given that, we just need to get Qadim and take him up to the ship and fucking make it his emotional half.
Well, it's not just Qadim, it's also his little crowd of hippies. They don't seem to...
they just seem to do whatever
Qadim
suggests.
So I suggest that if we tried to take Qadim, they would possibly resist our effort.
They maybe get a bit upset, because he is actually powered. Because you remember, there is things like
No, they've got.
He's powering the whole settlement. They're powering.
No, he's not powering because they've got wind turbines
farm.
and stuff to help power him.
I think.
I thought generating power. He needs the power. He doesn't generate the power himself.
So there's an option. Do we disconnect the power?
Well, I think the problem that you were saying last time is you need the help of the other humans to transfer Qadim. Qadim doesn't particularly see the point in going now, but I think he can be convinced. But you need...
if he's not convinced, if we just pick him up and take him, is there anything he can do about it?
No, he can't, because you will be disconnected him from power.
But the other people might not be.
Not very
But
happy.
you need their help, essentially, I think. To actually make the transfer, you just need to get everybody on board.
Can I not create some kind of one-use grav rig to carry?
You potentially could, yes.
So really, truly, we've got to persuade more people to actually set up and try and be nice.
Well, not necessarily. The only thing we need to do, if I can create a grav,
I think actually you need to have some more help just to transfer him into whatever grav thing you do. He's set in the wall of the building.
Yeah, I think they noticed if we did try to actually just nick him. I think they.
Yeah, well, that's my point was going to be that the only thing we need to do is find a way of stop them stopping us. But then if we need to get him from that to the grav lift, whatever I can create, then then we still need help from some of them.
So what are you doing? Where are you having this conversation that you're now having?
So is it while the rest of them are having this party or something?
So I think it's the evening now, is it?
Right.
And everyone's partying?
That could be the case. So the big screen is up there.
Someone must be discussing this on one of the walls, I suppose.
In a quiet corner where no one else can hear us.
on the wall around the settlement.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, so you're up on guard duty probably because you always get the shitty jobs while everybody else is partying.
Yeah.
And you guys are accompanying him on the wall there.
Yeah, just talking out of the way, whoever is getting stoned and laid and whatever. And We're just sitting on the grumbling and moaning, I think.
So your captain of the guard, Davoud, comes sauntering along the wall later on and sees the three of you together.
Mm.
Says, acknowledges both of you and sort of says, "Why aren't you having fun? Not everybody needs to be guarding the wall."
It's alright.
It's alright, we're just chatting. We're just chilling on the wall.
Just talking to my brother.
He
Helping
says,
him with his duties. Out of the goodness of our hearts.
That's very kind of you. We all do what we can to make this place work.
Yeah, why don't you go and do what you can then?
This is my job. He's checking on
What, putting
the guards.
distracting us from doing our job? Sorry,
No.
I'm in a really grumpy mood. I'm gonna,
You're distracting him from.
No, we're not. There's three of us now doing one man's job.
Okay.
No, we're just.
So
But
my
you're
job
now
is
you're
to
now
come and
distracted.
check on everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want to make sure that you're not feeling distracted.
I'm
You're
very-
not
No, we're not
Doesn't
distracting
give
him.
you a hard
Are you
time.
supported in my role? One of my brother and my good friend.
No, we're not distracting him. You don't worry. We're not.
And you're aware, of course, that not everybody even knows of the plan. So this Davoud,
The plan.
there was one of the key
Because
things
not everyone can
about
leave,
not
can they?
telling the brother is, although I think he'd like to be able to take everyone, he doesn't think that's possible. And having been on the ship, you know there's things like, for an atmospheric takeoff, there are no couches on anybody.
It's just going to be hanging on for dear life. kind of
Well,
thing.
or you could probably fit
Acceleration couches. and stuff.
acceleration couches and things like that for the station.
How many? Okay, from having seen the ship, how many acceleration couches? If I had the
If
kit
you had
to
the
do it,
couches,
if I had the equipment, the stuff to start
Well,
to use,
the ship
how many
was
could I fit
vast,
aboard?
Actually, having seen the ship, you think the whole of the community could get in there if there was something they could hold on to. Effectively.
Mm.
You've got
I
all
think
these
that-
round chambers that you
Yeah.
can, and by round I mean globular chambers, no floors in them.
No.
So this is one of the challenges.
Well, is it possible this ship is very advanced compared to
What we know.
technology we know, correct?
Yes.
So it's possible there is some kind of advanced inertia suppression technology that actually means that they can take off and it can suppress acceleration for those inside.
Although it's not.
I think that was
Yeah.
part of my argument because when you stormed out in the first argument we had with Qadir, I think that was part of my argument that we should take everybody anyway.
Yeah,
That's certainly
and
an option.
broadly speaking, Qadim agreed with you,
Yeah.
but said that until he could promise to take everybody, he didn't want to tell anybody because there may be a point that people are going to be disappointed.
So here's the thing: we could start. Well, we could just say
Tell everyone.
Tell everybody, yes.
Yeah, and just say, yeah, there's room for everyone. Sure. We're all there.
Where is that?
I guess the question is, do people want to leave?
Well, they could stay here and get eaten by the cannibals.
No, well, I'm thinking, all these people are enjoying their life here so much because they party every night, they get split and have sex and all the rest of it. Are they going to want to stay? Are they going to want to leave? One, they might not because they might be enjoying this. And two, if we say, okay, well, you can stay, but we're taking Qadim and we're off, they might say, well, actually, no, because Qadim is the one who's running this place, and without him, we don't have this life.
Yeah.
Well, that's a possibility, which would make things hard.
Yeah. But then we say, well, come with us then.
Yes.
Or they'll say, no, fuck off, there's 300 of us and 3 of you.
How many people are there at Camp Topeka?
300 sounds like a good number. I don't know whether I actually said it last year or not. I ought to sort of write some of this stuff down. So
Yeah, it would be a good idea. Yes,
And then
yeah.
those bits of it that I have written down, I should
Bring with you.
When we, yes, yeah.
All good advice.
Fair, you know.
So, do we think, from the people we've spoken to, the few people we've spoken to, are there some that we think would be willing or keen to leave if we could find a safe way to do so? So, are there, is there the beginning of a faction that would support us if we said
Well, the fact,
we want to leave?
well, the hierarchy, don't they? They want to leave. That's part of the thing what they've been working for, isn't it?
Yeah,
The ones who know.
I think
Yeah,
they're all looking forward.
to leaving.
Well, maybe they're not all looking forward. Maybe some of them might say, no, I opt to stay. But generally, those people in the room
Want
are
to
up
leave.
for the idea of going.
We explained it's Qadim that we found.
You can hang around in his room as you guys did, not drinking his tea for
Yeah.
ages.
I was thinking if he understands that there is another significant part of his
So you haven't had the opportunity to
personality
he wouldn't
that
come to you last
No.
night.
he is missing. Surely even he would see the logic in reconnecting with that.
And I think you've asked the priest to tell Qadim
Yeah.
that. Although
So
What was the priest's name?
I think it was Yusuf, but to be honest,
Yusuf rings a bell, actually.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's got two names. So if the
Yes.
name and the previous
If it's a
episode is
different
different,
then one of those is his surname and one is his given.
that's Yusuf.
From now on, we're calling him Yusuf. That's one of those details that was written down, and it's on my iPad that I haven't got. Bastard. Bastard. Fucking naming bastard, you.
Has that been cut out then? No,
I doubt it. No.
No.
No, that'll stay.
I think that should stay. I'm quite proud of
In
that.
fact, that's going to be our new credit sequence.
What, you bastard?
Bastard,
You
bastard.
naming bastard.
So yeah, I mean, you could make another attempt to see Qadim. You could,
So we have explained to some of the other.
but yeah.
people
So
around Qadim.
we spoke-
I think Jasmine and Yusuf and the other guy whose name I have forgotten.
And what was their reaction to this? Did they kind of go, "Yeah, that's good. We should."
And they're
Because
kind of,
with their help,
they're kind of saying, well, we'll do what Qadim says. I think they'd be happy if Qadim talked to you to let you try and convince them. Obviously, they're not interested in helping you talk to Qadim because Qadim doesn't want to talk to you at all.
Right.
Sheep.
Yeah. Anyway, this captain of the guard, what's his?
No, you could punch him out to die. Frankly.
What did I just call him?
Well,
Davood?
Davood.
sheep in this community.
When we're looking over
Think
rules and
yourselves.
stuff like that, because I mean, we haven't been here all this long, have we? Really?
No.
How long have we been here? A couple of days or a week or
Well, with the expedition, probably a couple of weeks now, I
a
think.
couple of weeks? So I just looking out over the walls, ways, checking out. So just out of curiosity, I mean, how many people are with the old
Cordoba.
Cordova?
His bunch of
Right.
Cannibals,
Do you know?
yeah.
Oh, he says. I don't think it's as many as us.
You don't think? Presumably you have scouts out there keeping an eye on them, things.
No, we leave them much this. Scouts kind of get caught and eaten.
As do all the innocent prisoners who get sent
Yeah,
onto the
it's not
plane.
suggest
Yeah.
that having a
Well, speaking as a
pact
murderer
with this
myself,
Cordova.
he says.
Well, innocent in
Innocent,
terms
yeah.
of their arrival here.
Yeah.
Not necessarily innocent of the crimes they've been accused of. Unlike us, of course, who are entirely innocent.
He says, my numbers are a little bit difficult because, of course, some of them are cattle and some of them get et, some of them don't get et. So, but I reckon probably in terms of those who don't get et and do the eating, 50, 60, something like that. I'd a guess.
50 or 60. So if we storm them, we could have them.
Yeah.
And then we stop the
And we
cannibalism.
stop the cannibalism. And everybody who arrives can join in the benefits of
Camp
Club
Topeka.
Speaker.
Yeah.
Or you could build new Club Speakers elsewhere on the planet.
Yeah, they're
It doesn't involve
yeah.
Or are you
cannibalism of newly arrived.
Are you just so self-centered that you're happy to live
Stay
in your
here.
spliffed up partying little world whilst other people get killed and eaten?
Yeah, he says. I guess we are a little that self-centered.
Yeah, okay. Moral vacuum, excellent. Just my kind of person.
Yeah, well, perhaps you should stay after all then.
I see your point of view. And what would we? So if we stormed them, what would we do with them?
Oh, kill them, I suspect. Stop
Kill
them.
them?
You know, you just said yourself you were a murderer, so you surely you're not going to
Well, I was a murderer. I was done for murder. That's why I'm on the planet. But since then,
You're a
people show
really,
me
really
how
good
I
guy.
can be a constructive part of a society that can work. I like to call it a cooperative.
Alright, and you're just happy to spend the rest of your days here then?
Yeah, it's a pretty good life. We've got all the opal we can smoke. Food, rabbits.
What do you do with the rabbits?
Mention them.
So
So we've got drugs, food, and rabbits. Okay, there's a moral and ethical question about the behaviour to animal welfare as well.
Yeah, the question of
This isn't a
consent
bad
with
life, is it?
Mhm.
I must admit, when I was told I was going to be sentenced to a penal colony, I didn't think it was going to be as good as this place is. Obviously, if I'd fallen into the hands of people that eat my arms,
You're
I
so
might
good.
think it was a bit worse than I had thought it was. But here in Club Topeka,
But let's say, for argument's sake, if you had a chance to leave, would you leave?
I'd have to think about it a lot.
Has he got a
Where
gun?
would I go back to? Where would I go?
Start again. There's a big universe out there, isn't it?
Have
A
I
big
not
system.
started again here? Nobody bothers us.
Apart from
We have
cannibals.
all agreed the rules. Qadim does not. He's not like some corporation trying to squeeze the blood out of us for profit. Everybody does as much.
What does Qadim actually do for you? Yeah.
Organises things.
In what way?
Judges things.
Because he can't go around and, tell your team what to do. He can't. He's
he
just
gets-
stuck in his
me,
lava
so,
land.
so I'm the captain. I get to talk to Qadim rarely, but I do. And he asks me how things are, and I bring him problems. Two people are arguing. He tells me what to say to sort out that argument.
And you can't do that yourself.
Yourself.
Not without his-
Well, I could probably do it myself now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Mhm.
having learned how to do it from once upon a time, I would have taken one side in an argument. Now, I ask open questions of either side. I bring them together to talk to each other. Qadim has taught me all of this.
Good. Well, you've learned all that then. So what else? What does Qadim do for you now? Because he's taught you. You surely can stand on your
So-
own 2 feet.
He organises people, engineers like you, to set up the windmills, to bring us power. There's projects going and we get fresh water. We grow opal. We grow over there, those blue flowers. Well, you can't see them because I just
Dark.
it's night time. But beyond the opal fields, he's telling us how to enrich the soil using nitrogen-fixing plants so that we can grow. He's a wealth of knowledge.
Make the most of it. Okay.
I will.
Mhm.
Haven't you got other duties to go and do? Because I think you are disturbing us now in our job.
No, you're disturbing him in his job.
No, no.
You should be resting now.
This
Well,
is
It's interesting.
Because your job is engineering and your job is in the medical facility.
Medical, yes, yeah.
I believe. And you're in a repair bay. Or working with Jasmine. I can't remember.
Yeah. But I've done my work for the day. I'm free, presumably.
So you're trying to dismiss me from my own job.
I was just not
Can't
wishing.
you be on your way now?
I was
Then
just not-
leave us to do our job.
I was just not wishing to hold you up from your important standing around tasks.
Well, it's a walking around task, but you're
Oh.
right. I know it's my duty to check on all my staff and see to their well-being. And he moves on to the next guard station. For the purposes of the listeners,
Yaphet?
Dave Yaphet mimed drawing his sword.
Halfway.
Oh, boy.
I do wish to kill him.
Although
though.
I think actually
If I'd thrown him off the wall,
you
would-
wish to kill him.
yeah, just fucking annoying me.
Everybody in this society annoys you.
Yes, because they're all wet.
They're all having
limp-
a good time.
all-
Yeah, I know.
We don't want people having a good time.
times.
That's just.
We want people to share our objectives.
If I had thrown him off the wall, off this wall, how high is it? Would it kill him?
It would have been, I don't know, I think I said
Possibly
6
not a
metres
good
or so.
idea.
So it
Just
would
that
roughly have been about the same amount of damage that Andy got when he fell down the hole last time, which is potentially none, potentially dead.
Okay.
Oh
so
no,
that's-
actually not potentially dead in this system because it would be a maximum of 4 hit points, and he probably has a minimum of 7 or 6.
That's true. Is there a crit value on fall mechanics?
I don't know.
Don't know.
We'll have to look at that when you choose to throw
Yeah,
one
okay.
or not.
I haven't.
I'm not going to look up a rule now.
No, I might not.
That hasn't even happened.
That's fair enough. Let's pause the game. Any other things we might not do later on that we want to check? Sometimes this kind of just happy clappy death.
Or
Yeah,
community.
sure. Do you? It's all happy. You're fine. Kind of
Pisses you off?
reaction is much harder to handle than someone
Who wants to kill you?
waving a gun in my face.
It's so much easier.
So much easier
to deal with.
exactly.
You know exactly what to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, so basically, they've taken a bad situation. They've built a
Mm.
society where
Everything's
feels like
rosy.
good life.
They just get
life for
spliffed the whole time.
themselves. So what are we doing? Are we going to talk to the priest?
So we've already. I think we already.
Jasmine and try and get. We need 3 other people to agree to help us really to move
Mm.
Qadim.
Qadim. So
Because
we-
presumably I could work out how to disconnect him from the power supply.
But if you couldn't work out that, there's not much chance you'd be able to work out how
Yeah.
to connect everything else to the
Mhm.
ship. So
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, and I imagine that's all very human.
Like
Connections.
flick a switch and pull the plug out kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
and really, it's the
The problem's going to be
it's
rewiring him
not
back
to
up
do
the
it
ship.
is inhumane because even though Qadim doesn't feel the pain because he hasn't got the emotional
Yeah.
side, he's
The other
still
half of him
incomplete,
is.
and the other half of him
Yeah.
is in constant
Pain.
emotional pain.
Mm.
So for not to get Qadim up there to reconnect them, the earliest opportunity is basically turns back to abuse.
It
So
is.
we can make something to
Yes,
Jasmine
I
and the priest
admire your
and
appreciation of mechanoid humanity.
Humanity.
I don't know whether inhumane is the right phrase, but still, I'm going with it. I understand where you're coming from. This is
he's
your
not
duty.
human. He has emotions.
He might think he's fine.
Yes.
But
The
he's
other
not-
half,
Mhm.
the siren, is suffering.
But he's
for his
wrong,
absence, so he's wrong.
Yeah.
And
And when you've got someone who is kind of mentally stuck in that position, then an intervention is the right
the
thing
right
to do,
absolutely.
even though they wouldn't necessarily agree with you at that moment. So we haven't had this conversation with Jasmine, have we yet?
Yeah.
No.
I can't
Or have
remember
we?
if Jasmine was there, but they were kind
The
of
priest.
whoever you had it with was kind of non-committal.
I don't think it'd be the right tonight. I don't think
But-
tonight would be the
I'm
right
not sure
time,
we've made that exact argument.
But you have not
No.
made that exact argument. No, that is a very good argument to make.
but not tonight.
I'm
I think
almost
that-
thinking you could make it to Qadim. You could
Mm.
almost go to.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm not telling you how to play.
Yeah.
Well, we do want to do that.
But Qadim won't
talk to
us,
That is
yeah.
absolutely what we want to do.
But I'm just thinking it would be
But if we
wise.
persuade, 3 other people
Yeah,
that this is the right course of action, that will be enough
yeah.
for us to.
It will, in theory, unless half of the other people here say, no,
Well,
you can't take Qadim because I've
well-
got my lovely spliffed up party life, and without Qadim,
It all goes to
it all
poo.
goes to pot. So no, I'm going to stop you. Qadim stays.
No, not necessarily. So Qadim is willing. Most of the people who know about the plan are willing.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
One of the reasons why they're quite keen on you not telling Tony
hmm
is that they don't want that sort of reaction about it happening. And until they
Okay.
are sure of what's happening, Qadim is advising not to tell people.
Well, that's what
Well,
I
I guess
thought.
the thing is, if we just want to take Qadim up to the ship, and he's quite big, isn't he? So we cannot really do that without people
Mm.
noticing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why I
Is there
asked
a-
the captain to,
Yeah.
what is his view?
Yeah.
I think we should wait until after the party to put our arguments to the priest and the mechanic, because they're just going to be too stoned tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight,
Tomorrow morning, you mean?
tomorrow morning. Yes, tonight there's going to be,
From the position where Qadim's sort of chamber is, to getting to the point where we can get through the wall to head up the mountainside to the ship, is there a kind of a back way of potentially sneaking? Might be the wrong word, but
Yeah, but getting, without just
without
taking
going
it
through the middle of the
streets.
party. Yeah.
Going through the middle of the party.
Without going through the middle of the party. The idea being,
Well, if
say
you do
tomorrow,
it-
if the party's on, is there a back street we can take him down to get him out?
Oh yeah, I
Without
mean,
people-
generally
without-
people could dress are actually kind of on a back street, actually where the party
Mm.
is. So there's the main street I described where most of the business
Past.
happens, and then over to the right, sort of thing. On that map, on that wall map I drew,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
there was sort of Qadim's house at the top of the main street, and then over to the right there was the party arena, shall
Yeah.
we say. So in fact, yeah, between Qadim's house and your route up the
Mhm.
glacier, up to the glacier, I should say, probably be quite easy.
There is a way we could do that would be relatively discreet. Okay. That's probably the best plan then. Talk to the priest and
the mechanic,
Jasmine tomorrow.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I can be doing an extra shift in the maintenance bay and I'll start putting together the stuff I need for a grav lift for Qadim. Without making it look like I'm making a Qadim-sized grav lift.
Just need to measure Qadim up.
No reason.
Right.
Because people have seen me making the grav belts we made before, so I can be doing more grav units that I can then easily just fit together into a big...
Yes, I mean, it'll be a roll.
Into a framework, yeah. Do you want me to make a roll for that then?
So you're going to do that tonight?
I might as well.
Okay, what are you're kind of doing your guard
I'm
duty?
still on duty on board.
What are you doing?
I suppose I go down and join the party, yes, yeah.
Okay, staying relatively sober.
Staying relatively sober though, yes, yeah.
Are there tools and stuff here that will give me a bonus dice? Presumably in the maintenance bay there's plenty of tools
Yeah,
and stuff to use.
given that they're all salvage tools and things like that, I think they're one bonus.
Just one, okay. Okay, so that's... And then the gear doesn't give me a bonus, it just allows me to do it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Start as we mean to go on. I'll push that then. We do need to make...
God, I haven't got any darkness points.
Oh, well, bad luck.
Oh dear, what a shame.
Oh, what a pity.
I'm heartbroken for you.
I'm gutted.
Right, I'll just have to make a note of my darkness points.
You can use some of my other little dice if
That's
you like.
okay.
No,
Well, we want to see...
We want to see how many dice. What you got now? We need to be able to see that.
Yeah, I'll get my other...
I
You can
probably...
use my Star Trek dice.
Yeah.
So, we've given you a darkness point.
And yeah, there's probably a bunch. I would have made a note on it. He's on my phone.
Oh, fuck you!
Did you fail?
I've rolled 18 dice and got no successes. Where's my sticker, Matt? Okay, where are my other... Fuck these dice off. Okay, that's a good start. So basically I've got absolutely nowhere that night.
Alright.
I'm going to give up in disgust and go to the party. Let's try again the next night.
I'll go down the park and see what they actually do. Oh, they eat rabbits, don't they? Not what they...
Right. So you have very frustrating...
I've basically, got nowhere at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll hear the shadow.
Towards the end of your shift, David comes back and he says, Qadim wants to see you.
Do you need me and Andy to leave the room if Tony's going to go and see Qadim?
Well, we'll see what Andy says at the moment.
Tony
But
says.
there may be a point where you need to leave.
You want to see just me?
Well, he asked me to bring you, so I think he wants to
Yeah,
see me as well. So, okay, you get... So, early hours, dawn's light, still a few people wandering around a bit doped up, but most people have kind of collapsed somewhere. And you walk up the street. First time you've been in the house? Has he been?
No, he was there with us first time.
Oh, that...
He's been
Not
in
the very first time you guys went to see Qadim.
Maybe not. I can't remember.
Right? Yeah, so anyway, you go into this house, you go past this swimming pool that's now the early morning, there's nobody swimming in it, and you go over sort of this bridge into this very plashly laid out room with this big lava lamp in the corner, and on one wall I should say, and it's obviously on, it's glowing, the lava's
the lava's lamping.
and there's fresh mint tea there laid out for you, and you're greeted by Qadim, and David says that this is Salah and introduces you. I think this is the first time you've seen Qadim talk. I don't think you've been in there when Qadim...
I think one of the times early on, but I think I have seen.
Okay, so he says,
Is David stayed?
Davude's staying with
Is
you.
there anyone else?
No, just the two of you. You posed Davude an interesting question.
Did I? You have to remind me of many interesting conversations.
You were discussing the nature of the inhabitants of Salvage Town and their number,
Yes.
with a view maybe to taking them out of the equation.
Well, it was a thought that if their number is so much fewer than ours, their way of life is not a way of life that we should support, and by doing deals with Cordova, we are tacitly supporting their behaviour. We're consigning a proportion of the people that get sent here to be taken and used as cattle, eaten as food.
It is ultimately not a sustainable way of life, furnished only by the semi-regular delivery of new inhabitants. I
Very
agree.
true, very true. As long as,
It
but
is.
there are those deliveries are still occurring, are they not, on a regular basis? As long as those deliveries keep arriving, then they can sustain their.
What do they do when the deliveries dry up? Sorry, I'm not there.
But that may not be for decades, centuries before that happens.
Indeed.
Which may not be a long time for yourself, but for
However,
us mere organic life forms, that is quite a long time.
Davude pointed out that you criticized our lack of data in this discussion. We can only make assumptions about the number of inhabitants.
Presumably you could make quite a good assumption, of knowing how many people arrive, how many go there, what proportion become food, and what proportion would join. You could probably make it
Mathematics
you
is
could make quite an accurate
my strong
model that would tell you how many people were in there, I would think, would you not? Could you?
But it may be, as you have said, that we should capture some evidence. Your friend Salem,
Yes.
there is a thing which I have asked him to do. He is reluctant to do it until he knows that the man Cordoba will pose no threat to prisoners here.
What have you asked him to do?
That is not of your concern. However,
What have you asked him to do? Why would you not tell me? Why? Why do you have to always just, come up with this bullshit? Come on. Just think logically. What is the disadvantage? What reason is there for not telling me logically? Why would you not tell me? Why does it need to be secret?
I would not wish people to be upset by probabilities and possibilities. If you are willing, however, I would like to ask you a favour.
You can ask me a favour. I'll make a decision then on whether I'll do it. I'll try and make as logical a decision as possible,
Davude,
using your version of logic.
Davude here and you might travel to that place known as Salvage Town and gather data as to the exact number of the two populations there are in Salvage Town. As Davoud says, those who get et and those who do the eating. Davoud says, are you up for it?
I'll talk to Qadim. I am prepared to do that. There is a condition.
What is the...
I'm going to explain to him that what we found on the ship, what we discovered is that you are not complete. Your personality is incomplete. There is another half to your personality. And although you think you're behaving logically, because you lack the other part of yourself, there is a flaw, and in fact your behaviour is often not logical. The other half of you is the emotional half, and actually without that you are not able to make truly logical decisions. The other half of you, because it's the emotional half, being separated from you, is in extreme emotional pain and has been since the separation. They're extremely lonely, and I will do what you ask if you allow us to take you to the ship and reconnect you with your other half, so that I'm saying you're allowed to do it. This is massively beneficial for you as well. You will become complete again, and you'll be able to make better decisions for the good of the community than you are able to now without your emotional half. And plus, your emotional half, which is part of you, is in extreme pain, emotional pain, and it's imperative to try and you should see this as well. You should see this logically, that it's going to be better, much better for you for that to end as soon as possible. So allow us to take you to the ship to reconnect you with the other half, and I will gladly go to Salvage Town to scout out the strength of their...
Why did you not inform the welcome process when you first arrived that you had a qualification in psychology?
It's being a sarcastic git, a logical form of behaviour. You don't have to have a qualification in psychology.
It might not be an insult. You might just say, yes, I'm a psychologist.
I'm not a psychologist. But we felt overwhelmingly the emotional pain of your other half. You don't need to have a qualification in psychology to feel that and to know what it meant.
Let me consider this. And the lights sort of go off and he retreats into himself. I think we're done here, says Davoud. Wait for an answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Very much for coming with you to check out Salvage Town. But I need that answer from Qadim first.
You have been listening to The Effect podcast, presented by Fiction Suit and the RPG Gods. Music, Stars on a Black Sea, used with permission of Free League Publishing.